Higher Frequency is currently available on iTunes and Amazon.com for MP3 download purchasing. So, Jade's, Cassie's, JOJ fans, new Staci fans, let's support Staci and purchase the MP3, okay? Our next segment is going to be about your experience in Korea during the JYJ World Tour concert in Seoul. Was this your first time in Korea?
It was. October was my first time. We went and did a couple showcases at a college here in Seoul. Sorry. But yes, that was my first time in Korea. I had no idea what to expect, and I was surprised. I love it so much. Seoul is so awesome. We just had an amazing time, and didn't even feel like we were working at all. So that was really cool. And then we went back in November for the big concert in the States.
So while there, did you get any chance to just kind of tour around Seoul? I've personally never been there, but we've always heard stories about how they're shopping and how their lifestyle there, especially going into their nightlife, is just completely amazing, more or less like Tokyo. Was that like that?
Yes, and the shopping is insane. At 3 in the morning if you want to. There are places open. I've never ever experienced anything like that before. So we'd get off work at midnight or something, go back to the hotel and go shopping. Who needs to sleep? I mean, how often are we going to get to be in Seoul? So we just made every opportunity we could to take advantage of it. But we did get a couple opportunities to also just do a little sightseeing of tourists and, go up to the tower and look out over the entire city, and that's really awesome. They have this really cool thing there where along the fence lining or whatever around the tower, everybody they put a lock on it, and their messages for it's about somebody they love. It's so cool. Like when if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, put your names on the lock on the wall.
That's
sweet. It's the sweetest thing ever. And there's also places where you can write your name on the wall if you want. You can write, whatever, I love so-and-so, or put a heart around it. It's just really...
Did you put anything on the wall?
We didn't have any locks with us, but we did take a lot of pictures.
Was this your first time working with Korean artists?
This was my first experience working with Korean artists.
And how was that? Was it any different from working with artists here back in the States, as well as...
Was it like a culture shock to you?
Not really. I mean, I lived in Japan for almost a year, so I was kind of already aware of the language barrier and that was going to be an issue. So that was like the biggest difference was really just the communication, not being able to say exactly what you want, but be received exactly what you need to be. But other than that, I was so impressed. I mean, everyone has such a strong work ethic, and they want to do whatever it takes to get the job done and to get it done right. There's no problem about that whatsoever. It's really professional to work with people who work so just like you want to do the best job ever. You don't get that a lot. I mean, you do, but you don't. There's just a different approach to it, I think. So it was really, really an awesome experience working. So just in love with what it is.
This is your first kind of experience with the Korean pop culture. It's also known as the Hallyu wave. Reached most of Asia, it's been coming into the United States. We've had a few artists and groups try to make it in the United States with debuting albums and whatnot. So, was this your first time kind of experiencing K-pop?
I've listened to some K-pop before, and I've heard of different artists here and there. But, yeah, this is pretty much my first real experience.
And had you heard of JYJ beforehand? Them as just Jeju, Yuta, Junsu from Dalmang Shinki, or TVXQ as we know them in the United States?
I actually had not. I was not familiar with them at all, but before we went to Korea the first time we did the money research, I was blown away. They're pretty impressive.
I think Chloe would faint at the first sight of them in person.
It's so embarrassing.
It's the truth. So what was your first impression about JYJ? Since you did go there for the showcase, which was in October, and then came back and worked with them for the main concert, which we actually had Twitters from people from Japan that flew out to Seoul for the 2-day concert, and they were just completely blown away by the performances and just everything.
Well, the first time when we got out there, their schedules are so crazy and they're so busy. They've got their hands in so many different pots that we actually didn't get the three of them together for rehearsal until the day before the showcase. So,
Wow.
which I've never, experienced that. We're like, hey, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be, and we'll do the best we can, and everyone's going to do the best they can because work around those options. So we had, one here, and then we'd go to another studio and rehearse the other one at like midnight, and then and then another one would come in, and so it was kind of piecing it all together like a big old puzzle. But once we got them together, you couldn't even tell that it looked like they'd been doing it together for years. That's how well they meshed and worked together. So that was awesome to watch. Sorry. To watch that unity that they have just during.
We were given kind of like updates, various sites. Trust me, tons of sites online were following the concert. Before even the concert started, there was people tweeting pictures about the posters and the venue themselves. Somebody tried to sneak in from one of the tweets that we saw. Yeah, it was pretty hectic. I don't know if you know, but Jade, Yuchun, and Junsu opened Twitters, and they hit probably 100,000 within the first few hours. That's kind of mind-boggling to me, but in a sense, it was kind of like, oh, it's going to happen. But we did get some reports that there were some damages that happened to the top of the stadium roof. There was below freezing weather at the venue. So how was it kind of experiencing that? Have you ever had to perform in those kind of conditions before?
I've definitely had to perform in the cold before, but having the roof come down like that was pretty crazy. I mean, they actually spent so much money to protect the audience from the wind and those factors. I'm freezing. And if it rained, so people wouldn't get wet. So then the night before, it did, of course, rain. And then it got so cold that it froze. So then it became ice on top of it. It couldn't stand the weight, so it came down. But the blessing part of that was that nobody was there. Like, there was only a few people in the stadium. The crew had just gotten there. Nobody was actually working. And it was so timed. If it was going to happen, it was timed just right. That nobody was on stage. Nobody was, like, underneath it. Could have been hurt. Could have been so much worse. So, thank God it happened when it did. It sure would have been nice to utilize it, but could you imagine what would have happened during the show? Then it would have been death. So, God was watching over all of us at that moment, and, maybe in some time in the future we'll be able to utilize that aspect and having fabric and first. Because we could have done so many cool things with first. But other than that, it was just really cold. And, everyone was troopers, and even though it was freezing, everybody stuck it out, did the best job they could possibly do. At one point during the second show, it started snowing, and it was magical. So awesome.
Okay. So I have to say something about the concert. Actually, I have a Korean friend who went to the concert in Seoul. So she was like, I was more we weren't really concerned about ourselves, like in the freezing weather, but we were more concerned about the outfits of JYJ, because it was really a thing that they were like, oh my goodness, what will happen if the outfit won't get sick at all. So that's just like a small info that fans don't really worry about themselves.
I know, that's true, and some of the outfits, they're definitely not made for winter weather. The thing is, once you're on stage and you're performing and you're moving around and your adrenaline's running so much, it pretty much heats you up. It's just when you get off stage,
It's a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, goodness, nobody faltered at all due to the cold. And even the crowd, even the audience, they were still so into it, and I know they had to be
A lot of people tweeting from the early in the morning saying they've been there for the overnight and they're waiting. They don't care once they see JYJ.
As long as it's JYJ.
They'll bear the cold, and they were really, really excited when Jerry, I'm not sure if you were involved in it too, did the Be My Girl remix dance.
Slaughter Mob, yeah!
It's the Slaughter Mob. Because actually, in Japan, they kind of do that. It's kind of pata. The artists kind of create this dance and the crowd follows. I think this might have been the first pata for the Slaughter Mob in Korea.
I think so too.
That we saw, it was completely awesome. Even in Thailand, there was a video, they did it at a mall. So it's catching on.
Oh my god. So cool!
One impression seeing, 20+ thousand people just riled up, probably freezing, not showing it at all. Just watching them do it, perform that with you guys.
So, the first night I watched it, I was back calling cubes and that, and I watched it from back there. So, it's very overwhelming to see that many people in unison participate in a dance or in something like together. The second night we watched from the soundboard, out in the middle of the audience, and so we were pretty much immersed in it, and we were doing it too. It was so fun, so cool. And I actually did film a little bit of it with my phone of all the people doing it. It was just so it's mind blowing to see that many people involved in one thing. So cool. I don't know if you don't see it for yourself, it's kind of hard to describe what that feels like, but yeah, it makes you feel like you're such